Hello everyone, welcome to Elliott Wave Cafe. In today's YouTube video, I'm going to talk a little bit about recognizing Elliott Wave patterns. So basically, I'm going to start by looking at a bunch of charts, and we'll have quite a few, and I'm going to show you kind of what I've scanned for and what I look for when I open pretty much naked charts without any labeling on it, and even if I have some labels, I'm basically looking and scanning for patterns. You'll notice that after you maybe spend some time with the Elliott Wave structures, you're going to maybe get more and more into the habit of not necessarily counting the wave structure, but actually recognizing the structure. And that's an important aspect because, as we know, there's only three basic corrective wave patterns, right? You have the zigzag, you have the triangle, and you have the flat. So you need to recognize those when you open the chart, and you need to kind of train your eye to see if you have something that's tradable, or if you have something that's interesting in the market, or if something is just basically not there and you're just kind of scanning for it and looking for it, but you just don't see it, right? Or you think you see it, but it's actually not there. So let's just kind of start by looking at the link here. So what I'm seeing is here, I'm seeing a move from the lows here to the highs, a very nice impulsive movement. And then I look from the highs to the lows here, and I see something between parallel lines. I see something corrective. I kind of like this. Now, I liked it more yesterday when we made these lows. Up here, that was a nice clean pattern. And what do I see here? I see a very simple impulse. I see a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So for me, that's a recognizable impulsive pattern. It's a clean structure. So, I posted something for our members yesterday in the room, and I say, hey, listen, I think there's a big chance here that we could see something happening. And I'm interested in buying Link, maybe for a long term, maybe not just yet, but it's something that I like. So will it happen that we're going to go back up here in maybe a B wave? More than likely. Would this be a second wave? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? It could be a 1, it could be a 2, it could be an A, it could be a B. But all I know is that I think this thing is moving higher in here, and maybe this is just leg A of this B, right? So I'm not going to get into all the probabilities here, but basically what I'm saying is I'm recognizing a 5-wave move of the highs, and that tells me something. That tells me that a correction is coming. All right, let's go back and take a look at the next one on my list. I have here, this coin is called Verge. And, I'm looking at it. I see a nice impulsive move, and I see a big 3-wave correction. So I kind of like this. I like the fact that, I can possibly play some parallel lines in here. The pattern is kind of clean. I don't know exactly what this whole thing here is in the middle. It could be a triangle, maybe a flat. I'm not sure what that is. But I like the fact that I'm coming here impulsively. I'm kind of correcting, and then I'm doing another impulse down. If I dig a little bit lower, I can see a 1, 2, 3, maybe a triangle in 4 here and a 5, or maybe a little bit more in 5, and we're gonna be bounced. You can kind of get a help a little bit from the RSI, just so if you have an impulsive pattern, you're looking for that 5th wave to diverge, and we're getting something back here. So I think this is an interesting pattern. It's kind of on my radar. I'm not ready to trade it. I'm not ready to open a position in here, and that's a totally different ball game. But I'm recognizing a pattern that I like, and when I do like something, it has my attention, I can put it on my watch list, and then you can start to scan it a little bit more, maybe get into smaller time frames and get an entry that's a little bit better. What's the next one I have here? I have a ZRX. So this one, let's say that it's it's kind of clean, but maybe it's still missing something. I'm not fully it's not fully in my boat just yet. Very nice move in here, more than likely some kind of a triangle. If that's an A, that's a B, and that's a C. Maybe we're doing a larger triangle, and that's just a simple, another ABC move to the downside, or something else. It doesn't matter, but I do recognize something interesting of the highs, and that's a move back here. I notice a push back up higher, and I notice another low. So far, it's just a 3-wave pattern. It's got my interest a little bit, but I'm not fully convinced just yet. But I do see a 3-wave decline, and 3-wave declines are against the primary trend. And that tells me that the chances are, maybe not just yet, but that we're going to get a bounce into the ZRX maybe soon enough. Maybe we'll make one more low in here, maybe come to the support at about 31.20, and then we're going to continue to we're going to start to actually, embark into something impulsive to the upside. So it's just a simple three-wave corrective pattern. Let's take a look at the ADA. ADA, it's, there's nothing here that I like. I really don't. It's, just, guys, it doesn't fit my recognizable structures. I don't see anything here that's clean, so I choose not to, not to get involved with it. It's, I'm going to keep an eye on it maybe, but it's just too weak for me. It doesn't have a lot of strength. It's just, not a very clean pattern that I recognize. So, I'm just going to let it go. Let's take a look at Tezos. Now, Tezos, I do see something, and that's not very encouraging for the bulls. And that would be maybe a 5-wave decline of the highs. And that would be, some kind of an impulse move up here, right? And then you have a corrective pattern, you have another impulse, you have another corrective, and then you have another drop. So this cleanly, it's more of a 5-wave move, not a 3-wave move. But what this tells me is that the chances are increasing here that we're going to get a bounce. Very possible an ABC, maybe coming back here to this 4th wave of a lesser degree. So it is a recognizable pattern. It's not a corrective pattern. It's more of an impulsive decline, which requires a 3-wave setback. I don't have a divergence here just yet. So the RSI is still kind of pointing lower along with the price. So maybe we will be doing one more low, and then we get the corrective pattern. But I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it and just watch it. Ethereum. Not very, very convincing just yet. A simple decline, a pullback, another small decline, but nothing really recognizable. So it just kind of keeps me on the sideline. We do have a trade with our members. I'm not going to say what it is, but, and it's based in a little bit of a smaller time frames and stuff like that. And we're trying to trade some of these internals in here. But overall, it's not a very encouraging structure that I say, yeah, I see a flat, I see a zigzag, I see a triangle, I see an impulse, I see nothing. I see these 3 moves that are just, they don't tell me a whole lot. So, good luck with Ethereum. There's nothing there just yet. IOTA in here. Let's see this one. This one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So very possible this is an impulsive decline. You do have a little bit of a divergence, so maybe this will respond to another 3-wave setback. But overall, I don't think this corrective move is done. If you have a 5, you need a 3-wave advance and then another 5 down. So it could be in a period of more of a weakness here into this IOTA. So the pattern tells me it's impulsive of the highs and requires some kind of a corrective pattern. Let's see, ICX, it's next. This one, it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, no, 4. We're getting kind of into this area. Maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then a B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's kind of done. We satisfy the minimum requirement for a C wave down because we kind of came below this level. So you could have a very simple move like that. So while it's interesting, it doesn't seem like it's fully developed. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, but it doesn't interest me at this point. What do I have next? Let's take a look at BAT. BAT, it's again a very simple decline of the low, so it's kind of similar to some of the other ones. Maybe needs a little more, maybe one more decline before we get some kind of a setback, divergence, but it's an impulsive move of the highs. What is this? Zcash. Zcash, it's no, I don't like it. BNB. BNB, it's very early in here, just a 3-wave decline off the highs. So is it a pattern I recognize? ABC, maybe a flat. It's kind of pushing it. ABC. No, it's not a pattern I like. It's not something that I have confidence in, so it's not something that I'm interested in. XRP. It's kind of coming lower from the highs here. This was a nice pattern, right? You have a 5-wave move into the highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, something recognizable. You have a 3-wave move, A, B, C. It would have been nice if the market would have stopped here and pushed higher, but we're doing this and we're doing this. So, what this is, I cannot tell you. 1, 2, 3, we broken 1, 2, no, that's not a wave 1, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's a tough one. It's still corrective. Let me kind of place a channel in here into the XRP, and I need to see a little bit more. It's nothing that excites me into the XRP either, so I'll just pass it. XMR in here. So now this one, it's a little bit interesting, right? Because you have a three-wave pullback against the trend, and now we're resuming higher. Now, what I'm about to say here is that this could be a very simple corrective pattern and we're ready to make new highs. Or if this is a B wave of this decline, this is wave, it's an X, ABC, X, and then we're doing another ABC. So something interesting. Sorry for my channel drawing in here. But it would develop something like this. If that's just a kind of choppy overlapping X wave, we would start a decline. If we're starting to move back above these levels, then, I'm going to start kind of looking at this in an impulsive manner. But what I'm saying basically in terms of recognizing a pattern, I recognize a nice three-wave move. And, if you kind of saw that on the way down, it would have been a nice opportunity to get some longs up into these levels. Litecoin, it's an impulse move of the high 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So nothing to do much here. Maybe a three-wave setback that follows. Bitcoin, we're not going to talk about. BCH, nothing there. Let's see, Tronics. Tronics is an interesting pattern. It goes in a very simple A, B, C, but not sure if this move is complete. Is there a pattern I recognize? Yes, it's a three-wave correction, but it's not my favorite move of the highs. I don't think we're just fully done just yet. So I'll just kind of brush it off into a corner and revisit it a little bit later. It could be bouncing, but I'm not getting enough even from the RSI. Not much there. All right, what else? Let's take a look at EOS. Nothing in EOS. It's a complete disaster. This is not a nice recognizable pattern. I don't like it. So why even bother to count this thing? There's nothing there. Okay, let's take a look at some other markets. Let's take a look at some of the futures. Right. Let's start with looking at let's take a look at Palladium. Palladium. Is it a pattern I recognize here? I see a nice impulsive move of the highs, of the 2800 highs. We pulled back and we're going sideways. Triangle much? A, B, C, D, E, maybe a triangle, and we're doing, I don't know. It's a mess, so let it develop. I'm not going to bother with. There's nothing to trade here. These are all 12-hour charts, right? So I don't want to put my money to work into something that I don't understand. Let's take a look at the Platinum chart. Now, this is more interesting. You're getting a three-wave move of the highs in here, right? So it can be just a simple, some kind of complex corrective move coming off these highs. Right here, right there, and then right there. So that's good. Start to measure some equality patterns. That's a nice impulse. It's a zone of nice support back in here. So this is something that would have my interest. Maybe not just yet, but it could be, could be good for a trade up here back to maybe 900. So that's something that's kind of interesting to see. Let's see what else. Okay, S&P 500. S&P 500. It's pushing off the highs. It's kind of messy. Is it a full pattern I recognize? No, but it's not impulsive. It's not this, okay? It's a very kind of choppy and overlapping corrective move. And this tells me that it's against the trend and very likely it's that we're going to possibly move higher in here. Either from here or from slightly lower. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but it's something I recognize. What do I recognize? That it's choppy, that it's more than likely in a three waves, and that kind of excites me towards the top side. US $10, US 10-year yields. It's a bummer. It's sideways. What do I recognize in here? Something like that. That's the best I can do. A, B, C, D. Did we break below this? Okay. A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, D, and E, and then we push higher. But that's another kind of a triangle in here. We could be towards the end. There could be some kind of an explosion. But guess what? This can happen both ways. All I know is that I could be ready to embark in it once some of these key levels get taken out. Until then, I recognize a triangle, but I'm not ready to press the button on it. Silver, it's a nice decline of the highs. And what do I see? It's a recognizable pattern. I see a decline. I see a choppy move in here, and then I see another decline that tells me that more than likely that's a zigzag ABC. And then, we could be making new highs in silver, or at least a bounce or an X wave. before we decline a little bit more. So something I recognize, right? It's a three-wave move, and you know, it just looks nice and clean. Now, yeah, you can, this can change. Things can change in life all the time. This could be a wave 1, that could be a 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that becomes an impulse. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2, and then this whole thing goes lower. All right, but that hasn't happened yet. That's just kind of thinking about it. Until then, I recognize the three-wave pattern of the highs. Let's take a look at copper. Copper in here, it's doesn't tell me much. It's been in a very nice impulse since this $2 lows. I'm not going to bother with the wave count, right? This was a recognizable pattern as it was a nice, you know, just kind of choppy and maybe a fourth wave move. Maybe this was a fifth, some kind of an ending diagonal in here, something like that. And now we're doing a 1, a 2, but I would have to go to a smaller time frame to recognize that. Basically, on this 12-hour time frame, there's nothing for me to do at this point. All right, so that's copper. Let's see what else we can look at. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is very similar to silver. A, triangle B, down in C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possible completion in here, or maybe another low, just a quick low, but I'm expecting a bounce in gold. And that's a nice, very nice Elliott Wave pattern. All right, what else? Oil. Let's take a look at oil. And oil, yeah, we did push up higher here in this, you know, triangle, fourth, up and fifth, and ending diagonal. This is a wave 1 off the highs, possibly, and that's a 3-wave correction. But it doesn't excite me just yet. It's very, it's not a pattern that convinces me that this is something to trade to the upside or to the downside. Now, if we're getting this A, B, and then C, now I'm going to get excited about a move to the upside. Okay, for right now, this pattern, it's not strong enough for me to make me place a trade into the price of oil, into oil market. All right, let's see, natural gas. This one, it's a mess. So there's nothing here to trade natural gas. You got to be I don't know, maybe an insider. All right, what else? Let's take a look at some other markets here. Maybe take a look at Forex. Let's take a look at the dollar index and close it off with that. You know, we've talked about this. I talked about this into our pro room. I talked into the free room, into the public channel, looking at this as a triangle. You know, when everybody was kind of getting super bearish dollar, you know, I kind of started to warn against a potential finish of dollar weakness, kind of somewhere down up into these levels. You know, the strand line was a little bit higher. I had to make an adjustment on it. But what I recognized was a 5-wave move of the highs that's possibly near termination. And that was this, and that, and then this was in progress. And I wasn't sure exactly, you know, how this is going to end up and how is it going to finish. But, you know, from the looks of it, this is complete, right? So now we're getting a 3-wave move off these lows in here, and it's just maybe another 4th wave pattern in here. And this is you know, very nice recognizable pattern, just a simple ABC into this 4th wave, and possible that we're going to make one more low. Just kind of turn back, and I got to give the software a little bit of time, but it would be something like, sorry guys, sorry, come on. All right, there you go. That's what I was trying to draw on the chart. All right, so wave 1, wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, that's a possible 1, a 2 in here, some kind of a third coming down, impulsive, triangle in 4, down in 5. And that's just a 3-wave corrective move of the lows. And I like that. I like that because we're coming back into some of these resistance levels in here. And I think that, you know, the dollar, we're going to turn. It's going to turn and make one more low. At the minimum, you know, maybe it's going to be a triangle. But I think that, you know, this move up here, obviously because it's in 3 waves, kind of guides me to believe that, you know, it's a corrective pattern and there's going to be new lows coming. So I'm going to kind of close with that. I hope today's video was helpful in kind of helping you, you know, helping you look at the markets, not necessarily through counting the waves all the time, but recognizing patterns on the chart. And this is an important aspect of the Elliott Wave principle. what do you see onto the chart? Do you see something you recognize? And that can give you a lot of information about what's happening, and it kind of starts to prepare you for the next trade that you're going to take. And I'll leave you with that, guys. Please come and visit us into the Pro Room, where we do deep analysis into a lot of these markets. We present daily videos and updates regularly, and subscribe to this channel. Recommend it to somebody else if you have friends. Hit the thumbs up button. I think that's everybody says. And I'll see you on the next update. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.